The current video describes how I summarize or show the number of digits past the decimal point for p-values across various ranges. So generally I like to show not too many digits past the decimal point unless it's really warranted. And so we'll show it for different ranges over here. Generally, if the p-value is high, there's not a lot of reason to go into a lot of detail. So for anything that's clearly above 0.05, in other words, would be rounded up to 0.06 or all the way up to going to 1, I tend to only show 2 digits. And here's some examples. So even if it's kind of just above 0.05 over here, I would show it as 0.06, 2 digits. This is even a little bit higher, but still not below the typical cutoff that's used, 0.09. You could call this borderline if you wanted to. Again, now you have something which is kind of clearly non-significant by most criteria, and then something which is very weakly associated, if at all. Sometimes you find things that are right around that 0.05 border, and if you, all of these, for example, would be summarized as 0.05, but we wouldn't really want to summarize them as 0.05 since some of them are a little bit above and some of them are a little bit below, and so you want to be a little bit more specific. And so for these I actually will show 3 decimal points just so that we have that level of specificity. So for example over here, this would be this would be rounded to equal to 0.05, but what I'd rather say is that it's close to 0.05, but in fact below. So I would actually say equal to 0.045. Likewise, this is close, but it is technically below. And so I would show that thing over here. And this is, again, would be rounded to 0.05 if we only use 2 digits, but I would call it 0.04. The third category is now things that it's clearly statistically significant, and but it's not so significant that you really need to go to a third digit. And so in these cases, again, I only use 2 significant digits. So even though it's down to a third digit over here, if you round it, it goes to 0.01, and I would show it as such. This is 0.03, and this is 0.04. So again, that kind of gives you enough information for what you need. Here now we're getting to things which are so significant that you really do need to go to a third digit just so you can add enough specificity, unless you wanted to just call everything less than 0.01. But I do feel that there's a difference between saying things are less than 0.01 and less than 0.001, because you're getting an order of magnitude more significance of association. So this I would call 0.003, this I would call 0.004, and this I would call 0.007. Finally, when you get to things which are so strongly associated, now you're talking about a very, very strong association. And there's no point in kind of saying how much stronger it is beyond this level. So I stick to 3 significant digits over here, and I'll just simply say that it's less than 0.001. I don't think you need to be any more specific than that. That's a brief guideline. There's a totally separate talk on how you would actually summarize significant digits for data, but I think this is good enough for the p-value right here. Thank you.